Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making something called empty tomb rolls, also known as resurrection rolls. These sweet little delights are typically made during Easter time, and they're meant to represent the empty tomb of Jesus Christ when he rose from the dead. You don't need to be religious to enjoy these treats. They're so good you can make them at any day, any time, any month during the year. Let's start by making the crescent rolls. So first we're going to activate our yeast. We're going to pour some warm water in a bowl. We're going to add sugar. And lastly, the yeast. 14 grams is equivalent to 2 packets of yeast, or almost 2 tablespoons. Now we're going to allow this to foam up for about 10 minutes. In a separate bowl, we're going to mix our dry ingredients, starting with 3 cups of flour. We're going to set aside 1 cup of flour to add to the dough during kneading if it is still too wet. Then to the flour, we're going to add sugar, and we're also going to add salt, and set this aside for later. We're also going to need 2 eggs that I crack in a separate bowl so I can whisk them before adding them to the wet ingredients. Then in a bowl of a stand mixer, we're going to add all our ingredients together, starting with the wet ingredients. We'll also include 135 grams of unsalted butter that is room temperature. And lastly, we'll be adding the dry ingredients. We'll need our trusty dough hook, and the kneading process will take approximately 10 minutes. We're going to keep this on low to medium low, and let it continue to knead until the dough comes together. If you're finding your dough is still too wet, you'll need to add flour 1 tablespoon at a time. Once the dough starts forming a ball and pulls away from the bowl, we're going to remove it from the mixer and finish kneading by hand. You'll want to remove the dough onto a lightly floured surface. Or in my case, I floured the dough ball. But all we're doing here is forming a smooth ball and getting it ready for proofing. Then our dough is ready to go into a well-greased bowl covered with plastic wrap, and we're going to let this proof for about an hour and a half. It will triple in size. Then it's time to punch the dough. That's always the kids' favorite part, or a cathartic moment for the adults. I then gathered the dough and took its overall weight. That way I can cut 4 equal portions of dough. So to make the crescent rolls, we're going to start with parchment paper and roll each dough into a perfect ball. That way we can roll it into a perfect circle. Once your dough circle is ready, we're going to cut 8 equal pieces using a pastry cutter or a pizza cutter. If you have neither, you can use a very sharp knife. Then the dough you're not using, we're going to roll into the parchment paper. We're going to store these in the fridge. You can also store them in the freezer if you're not going to use them right away. Then we're going to continue to make the rest of our crescent rolls, doing the same thing, cutting 8 equal pieces out of circles. Now I'm going to store the crescent rolls I'm not using in the fridge and save them for later. The coating and filling for the tomb rolls are easy. We'll just need butter, sugar, and some ground cinnamon. Now it's time to assemble our tomb rolls. We're going to take one of the crescent rolls we made and we're going to stretch one of the triangles. Next, we're going to take a marshmallow and roll it around in our melted butter. Once it's evenly coated with butter, we're going to transfer it over to our cinnamon sugar and completely coat the marshmallow. Then we're going to put it right in the middle of our triangle and fold the dough over. Whatever open seam there is, you're just going to pinch it closed. Then, once again, we're going to roll it in our melted butter and back into our cinnamon sugar. And we're going to coat that well. Then we're going to place them inside an 8-inch skillet or an 8-inch cake pan, depending on what you choose to use. Any vessel is fine as long as it's 8 inches in diameter. Now we will repeat this process for the rest of our 8 tomb rolls. Arrange your tomb rolls with enough space so they can expand when baking, because they will grow and expand. For less fuss, I chose to put my cast iron skillet on a baking tray for easier insertion and easier removal from the oven. Once out of the oven, you'll notice that the marshmallows have disappeared. Some of mine are a little bit open, but that's okay because they are hollow on the inside. Now that you know how to make this recipe, I hope you'll give these a try. They're so good. If you love cinnamon rolls, you'll absolutely love these. They're unique and they're so amazing. My nephew actually puts ice cream inside of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys give this recipe a try. To keep up with my latest content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye.